Okay, so the opener today. The first one, the directions say rewrite the equation in slope-intercept form and then graph it. So slope-intercept form is what? How would we write equations in slope-intercept form?
Turn one light off.
So slope-intercept form is in what format? Hey, Ben, can you put that aside for me?
Sure.
Say again?
Y equals mx plus b.
So y equals mx plus b. So if I want to take this equation and write it in slope form, what am I going to have to do?
Rewrite it.
Rewrite it how?
Minus the free x on both sides.
Yeah, because we're getting what by itself?
The y.
The y, yeah. So I'm going to circle the y because I'm solving for y. And Ben already told me in order to get that y by itself, I'm going to minus the 3x. And then I have 2y equals negative 3x plus 6. Okay? My next step is what?
Divide.
By?
2.
So we're going to divide by 2. That means we're going to divide the entire right side by 2.
Have a ruler.
And y is going to equal
Negative 3 over 2x.
Yeah, give me just a second. Okay. There you go. And what's 6 divided by 2?
3.
3. Okay. So now we're going to graph this. When we go to graph this, where do I start? What do I graph first?
3.
Oops, that should have been a plus 3, excuse me. So I'm going to graph the 3 first, and that 3 represents my B, my y-intercept. So I start at my origin, and which direction do I go?
Up 3.
Okay. And then my slope I graph next. My slope is going to be, what's my slope, Chance? Sorry, mid-yawn. So I'm going to go, and then to get another point, I do the same thing. Or I can do the opposite for my y-intercept and go up 3 and to the left 2. And we're going to graph our line. Make sure your line goes to the edge of each coordinate plane. Who thinks they like to draw these lines on here? There we go. How do we do on that one? Did you guys understand what it was asking you to do? Yeah? Okay. So this next one, we have a graph, and we have a line on the graph. What are we supposed to find? What are we supposed to do with the information that's provided? Okay, so what are you going to find first for me? Okay, what's your y-intercept? Okay, so my y-intercept is 3. So I'm going to go ahead and plot that point. So my y-intercept is 3. From there, I find my... And what do I use to find my slope? What do I have to look for? Lattice point. Oh, there it is. Oh, there's another one. There's another one. And that would be another one. So what's the slope of the line? 3 over 2. You found that by doing rise over run. So our slope is 3 over 2. So the equation will be
3 over 2x plus 3.
almost perfect. What are you missing?
Y equals.
There you go. Nice job. You look like you're about ready to pass out too. First hour, there's some kiddos too that were done.
And
Okay.
it's Friday too.
I know, we all should be like, woo, it's Friday. You guys are just,
So nice.
well, no, because I think you're real sad we're not having a quiz today. Maybe that's it.
No, I'm happy about that.
Okay, let's look at the back side.
Hey, usually I'm asleep by this time.
No, you usually make it through the opener. It's the notes. Okay, back side. Our new lessons, right? First one, use substitution to solve the system. So if I'm going to use substitution to solve the system, what do I have to look for first?
Easy variable.
The easy variable or
Variable by itself.
totally by itself on one side of the equal sign. Do I have that?
-8.
Yeah, I have that. For which variable?
Y.
The y. So I'm going to substitute for which variable?
Y.
Yeah. So when I see that y, what am I going to put in place of it? Now, what am I going to put in place of that y?
A 1.
What's y equal?
3x.
Minus 8. So I'm going to use my equation on the top because I'm going to substitute the y to the top here. I'm going to have 9x equals 10 minus 4. And you guys said we're going to substitute for y. So what do we substitute for y again? 3x minus 8. And now I have an equation. And I'm ready to solve. When I solve this equation, what's the first step I need to do?
Distribute.
That's right. And once I distribute, I get
Negative 12.
12x. Good. Keep going.
32.
Plus 32.
It's negative 32.
Nope, 2 negatives equal a
All positive.
positive.
And you gotta change the axes.
What I do?
Subtract it.
Not yet. What do I need to do first?
Combine them.
Combine like terms. What are my like terms on my left?
10.
10 and 32.
So 10 plus 32 is,
42.
so I'm going to bring down my negative 12x plus 42. Now what?
Pick on the lower guy,
Which is?
negative 12.
So I'm going to add it. What's 9x plus 12x? 21 what?
X,
Equals 42. How do I get x by itself?
5,
By?
42, and 21.
There we go, by 21. And x is going to equal
21.
2. Good. So I now know what x equals. I need to find what y equals. How do I determine, or how do I come up with what y equals?
I'm just gonna take the solid one on this.
Huh?
So I'm just gonna take a solid one on this one today. I don't want
Too bad, so sad, right?
my hand.
That's what my 3-year-old likes to say to me right now. Too bad, so sad.
My hand hurts.
Mine does too. But I'm still here doing it.
Up on shore.
And then my head hurts, and I'm going to have to do this 2 more times. So if I can go through this 3 times today, you can at least make it through once.
And my head hurts.
Yeah.
And my hand.
My head hurts too.
It smells in my hand though.
Whoa! My head about really hurt there.
Oh.
I about flipped over. Okay, so how do I find my value for x?
Why'd you just go to your stools right there?
Well, I don't know. I wanted to see if I flip over or not. Like, substitute it. In which equation, Riley? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I would use it doesn't matter. I would use the bottom one because it's probably going to be a little simpler to solve. So I have 3x minus 8. What am I substituting for?
The 2.
And I'm putting that in place of the
X.
x. So I have 3 times 2 minus 8. Okay, what's 3 times 2? And then 6 minus 8. So my solution is 2, negative 2. So my x goes first, then my y. Okay. Save the best for last. So the best for last, it says use elimination to solve the system. Does anybody notice anything about that previous question from the opener the day before? Does anybody have that good of a memory?
This thing.
Kinda. Except for the question on our opener before, it said, does the ordered pair or does the point 2, negative 2 work for the solution? And then we had to substitute and see if it worked. This time I just took it out and you guys found the solution. Nobody caught that? I'll have to see if another hour catches it. Okay, use elimination to solve the system. Now, we started using elimination yesterday. We did not see a problem like this though. How do you think I'm going to start this problem? Can I just start eliminating right away? No.
You have to.
Yeah, we're going to have to distribute that first equation here. So we're going to have to rewrite this first equation. So what's that going to look like, Emily?
You got 4x. Hold on. Wait. Yeah. 8.
Plus 8. What's the variable?
Y.
Equals
8.
8. Okay. So here is my system. Now, are my like terms lined up? Are my x's lined up or my y's lined up? Yeah? X's and y's are lined up. Which variable has the same coefficient? Which variable has the same coefficient?
4.
4, the x's, right? So how do am I gonna add or subtract to eliminate the variable x? Yeah, so we're gonna subtract this one. So subtract. So I'm gonna draw my line. So 4x minus 4x cancels. And then we're gonna take what?
8, 4.
Now, what's my operation sign we're using that you said that we needed to use?
Fractions.
Okay, so 8y minus positive 4y, which is basically 8y minus 4y. So what's 8 minus 4? 4y. And then what do I do with my 8 and 12 over here?
Subtract.
Yeah, so what's 8 minus 12?
-4.
Negative 4. Okay, chance. Now, to solve for y, what's the next step I do?
Wow, you gotta divide by 4.
We're going to divide by 4. And y is going to equal
-2.
what?
1. -1.
Negative 1.
I think that was 2.
Okay, Maddie. So I know the value of y. How am I going to find the value of x? Yeah. So you can go to one of the original equations. Do you want to use the top one or the bottom one? And we're going to substitute. It doesn't matter. Top one? Okay. We're going to use the top one. Do you guys want to go... Let's use the top one where we already distributed. So we have 4x plus 8y equals 8. And what do I know the value of? What?
Y.
Y. So what do I substitute for y? So 8 times 8 equals 8. There's a lot of 8's there. Okay? Next step. Okay. So Riley took 8 times 8 and got 64. Okay. Then what? Ben?
You said y was -1.
And why did I put 8 in there, you guys? Who told me 8? Did I just make 8 up on my own? There we go. Okay. Does that look better? Okay. Let's try that again. Riley, what's 8 times -1? Negative 8, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Ben, now what?
Huh?
Now what are you going to do?
+8.
Plus 8. Emily, now what?
You add 8.
Which equals?
16.
16.
Then next,
Divide.
by, which equals?
4.
Okay. My solution is?
4, -1.
Yeah, -1, not 8. Perfect.